You wake up tired before the day has even started. Your phone is already in your hand. Your mind is scattered. You promise yourself today will be different. Yet by noon, the same patterns return. Rushed thoughts, shallow focus, reactive emotions, wasted hours. You feel like you're losing control before the day even begins. This isn't laziness. It isn't a lack of motivation. It's a lack of command. The Stoics understood this problem deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations at dawn, not at night, not because mornings were peaceful, but because the morning decides who rules the mind, impulse or intention. Here is the deeper truth most people never see. Mental control is not built during stress. It is installed before the world touches you. Lose the morning and you spend the day reacting. Win the morning and the day answers to you. By the end of this video, you'll learn the Stoic morning practice used by a small minority. The one habit that builds emotional control, discipline, and clarity before chaos arrives. This is not motivation. This is preparation. Let's begin with the first principle. 1. Begin the day by predicting resistance. Epictetus taught that we suffer not because of events, but because we expect ease. The Stoic morning begins by calmly anticipating difficulty. Before speaking to anyone, before opening messages, you remind yourself, today will include interruption, criticism, delay, and friction. This isn't pessimism, it's realism. When obstacles arrive, they feel familiar instead of shocking. Emotional spikes lose power because nothing feels personal. Real-life example. Traffic slows you down. Instead of irritation, your mind says, I trained for this. A difficult email appears. Instead of panic, you respond with restraint. You're not surprised, you're prepared. 2. Separate what you control from what you don't. The second Stoic move is mental sorting. Socrates trained his students to question assumptions before reacting. Each morning, you quietly remind yourself, I control effort, intention, and response. I do not control the opinions, outcomes, or moods of others. This creates immediate stability. Anxiety shrinks when responsibility is placed correctly. You stop trying to manage the uncontrollable and strengthen what belongs to you. 3. Decide the standard you will not break. Napoleon Bonaparte was known for one trait above all: internal order. Each morning he decided how he would conduct himself regardless of conditions. Stoicism calls this choosing your ruling principle. Before the day begins, choose one behavior you will protect: patience, focus, honesty, or restraint. When pressure rises later, you don't negotiate, you remember. Emotional insight. Most people fail mentally because they decide too late. Discipline works best when choices are already made. Action step for today. Tomorrow morning before touching your phone, sit upright and silently say, today I expect resistance. I control my response. Say it once, then begin. In part 2, we'll refine this practice into a precise morning ritual that takes less than 5 minutes, but quietly separates the disciplined from the distracted. Consistency compounds authority, calm, focus, and self-command across ordinary days. Most people think discipline comes from force. The Stoics knew it comes from sequence. What you do immediately after waking decides how much control you have later. Not the length of the routine, not motivation, the order. This is where the 1% separate themselves. 4. Claim your mind before the world claims it. Marcus Aurelius warned that the moment you rise, the mind looks for comfort or avoidance. The Stoic response is simple: delay input, initiate command. Before the news, before messages, before voices, you speak first. Not out loud, internally. You remind yourself of 3 realities. You will meet difficult people. You will feel resistance inside. You will remain governed by choice. This internal dialogue sets authority. When the world later speaks loudly, It is no longer the first voice your mind obeys. Real-life example. You wake and reach for your phone. Anxiety follows instantly. Compare that to waking, sitting still for 1 minute, and setting intention. One creates reaction, the other creates direction. 5. Shrink the day into a single objective. Seneca wrote that a scattered life feels short and chaotic. The Stoic morning solves this by compression. Instead of planning everything, choose one essential aim. One task that, if completed, makes the day honorable, not impressive, effective. This removes overwhelm. The mind performs better when it knows what matters most. Everything else becomes secondary noise. Example: your day includes work, communication, obligations. Your chosen objective might be complete the report with full attention, or remain patient in every conversation. When decisions arise, you measure them against this aim. Clarity replaces pressure. 6. Rehearse the moment you usually fail. Here is where Stoicism becomes surgical. Identify one moment where you often lose control. Irritation, procrastination, avoidance. Then imagine it happening today. Not dramatically, calmly. Epictetus called this premeditation. You are not fearing failure, you are practicing composure. You see the trigger, you visualize your response. You rehearse restraint. When the moment arrives later, the mind recognizes it. Familiarity reduces intensity. Choice becomes available. Emotional insight. Anxiety spikes when the brain feels untrained. Rehearsal tells the nervous system, I've been here before. 7. End the morning by choosing pace. Rushed movement creates rushed thinking. The Stoic morning ends by setting tempo. Move slightly slower than necessary. Walk with control. Speak with space. This pace carries forward unconsciously. Others adjust to it. Situations soften. Abraham Lincoln was known for deliberate cadence, even under pressure. That cadence wasn't accidental, it was practiced. Action step for tomorrow morning. Delay all input for 3 minutes. Choose one objective. Rehearse one difficult moment. Move slowly on purpose. This is how calm authority becomes automatic. Control feels rare because most people treat it like a mood. The Stoics treated it like a system. When a system is installed, it runs even when motivation disappears. This is the final Stoic secret behind morning mastery. Identity before emotion. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each day of the role he was about to play. Not how he wanted to feel, but how he intended to act. Identity decides behavior. Behavior trains the mind. 8. Act from identity, not from energy. Energy rises and falls. Identity stays. Each morning, define who you are before defining tasks. Say this silently. I am someone who responds, not reacts. Or, I am someone who keeps order under pressure. Choose one identity. Live from it for the day. When stress appears, you don't ask how to feel better. You ask how this identity behaves. That question restores control immediately. Real-life example. You receive criticism. Emotion surges. Identity answers. Remain measured. Speak once, listen fully. You act accordingly. The emotion fades after obedience, not before. 9. Remove negotiation from discipline. Most people fail because they negotiate with discomfort. Stoicism removes negotiation. Epictetus taught that freedom begins when you stop arguing with necessity. When a behavior is decided in advance, resistance loses leverage. Your morning ritual is not optional. It is maintenance, like breathing, like posture. You do it regardless of mood. This is why the habit works. It bypasses willpower. Emotional insight. Self-control feels heavy only when it is undecided. Decided actions feel lighter because the debate is over. Close the loop each evening. The morning builds command. The evening seals it. Seneca advised reviewing the day without cruelty. At night, ask 3 questions. What did I do well? Where did I drift? What will I correct tomorrow? This review is not punishment, it is calibration. Calibration compounds. Over weeks, the mind learns patterns. Control becomes familiar. Chaos feels foreign. Empowering conclusion. You don't need a perfect morning. You need a claimed one. Most people give their best hours to distraction and try to fix life later. The Stoic does the opposite. He installs order first, then enters the world prepared. This is why only a small fraction ever experience real mental control. Not because they are special, because they are deliberate. Over time, this practice reshapes your self-image. You stop relying on bursts of enthusiasm and start trusting structure. Calm replaces urgency. Focus replaces noise. Discipline becomes automatic because it is rehearsed daily. When mornings are claimed, decisions simplify. You waste less energy fighting yourself. Confidence grows quietly, not through dominance but through consistency. This is mental control in its truest form. Stable attention, chosen responses, and a life guided by intention rather than impulse. It rewards patience, builds self-trust, strengthens character, reduces anxiety, and creates freedom without force, pressure, excuses, shortcuts, noise, or fear. If this framework resonated, write this in the comments. I rule my mornings and my mind follows. Read it once, then prove it tomorrow.